I want to first just make an announcement as to what relief National Emergency Management Agency and I, in my capacity as Minister for Emergency Management, will be making to the Tairawhiti region in light of the significant adverse weather events that have occurred over the past 36 hours. As all will be aware by now, there has been a significant amount of water that has come into the region, commencing with the northern part of the Tairawhiti region, some areas experiencing over 550 mils of rain over the past 36 hours, in some circumstances experiencing more than 50 mils of rain within a 1 hour period. This has been a significant event for this region and comes on the back of 5 significant weather events for the Tairawhiti in the past year. In discussions with Her Worship Mayor Stoltz and the Tairawhiti Civil Defence Controller David Wilson, along with my National Director Roger Ball, we commenced discussions this morning about what type of support would be sufficient in order to provide some immediate relief to the Tairawhiti region by way of a Mayoral Relief Fund. In light of the significance of the event, and in light of the fact that this is the 5th significant adverse weather event, we have decided to make a contribution of $175,000 to the Mayoral Relief Fund that can be immediately deployed. Whilst on the more significant end of the scale for what we would make as a contribution to the Mayoral Relief Fund, we have taken into consideration factors such as there are still several vulnerable communities that are isolated and cut off from services. This is from Anoda Bay to Kaiawa, Tukumaru with some significant infrastructural issues there, amongst other areas. We've also taken into consideration that this is, for example, in an area like Tukumaru Bay, they have only just commenced the clean-up from the last significant rainfall event in June. In areas more further north, like Tairawhiti, the last significant rainfall event there was just at Waitangi weekend. This puts in immeasurable stress on the limited resources of a district rating base like the Gisborne district, and so turning our minds to those types of considerations, we've determined that that is an adequate amount for this initial phase of resourcing. In addition, I've been in discussions and will continue to be in discussions with my ministerial colleagues. The Ministry for Primary Industries, through my colleague, the Honourable Damien O'Connor, has sent his officials to the region this morning to assess things like impacts on animal welfare and the like. I'll also be in discussions with my colleague, Minister Michael Wood, who has officials working very hard from Wakakotahi to assess the damage, and there is significant damage throughout the Tairawhiti region. And in addition, ensuring that there is adequate resources and support from the Ministry of Social Development by way of welfare. I'll be having those discussions, ongoing discussions, with the Minister, Carmel Sepuloni. So those are my brief remarks that I wish to make at this time, but I'll also turn to Mayor Stoltz.
Thank you so much for this generous contribution. This will assist us to walk alongside our community in a massive of cleaning up. And some of our communities have been affected more than once last year. So this will just help us to reach out to whānau that really need that support on the ground. I also want to thank you today. You did chat to us about the Mayoral Fund. Also reached out to your colleagues and the colleagues. Thank you for always taking the Tairawhiti story to Wellington, telling them why we need some support. We need to walk alongside us. Hope next time you come to Tairawhiti is not for an emergency. I do hope that I can catch up with you next time, that I'm not in isolation and I can travel with you and show you around the areas that we have cleaned up and where we have used this Mayoral Fund. real different in whānau's life. Thank you so much, Minister. We appreciate it.
Myself and my colleagues from the National Emergency Management Agency, shortly after this engagement, will be heading up the coast to meet with some of the families in those communities that have been impacted again. But I'll take questions now.
Are there specific things that fund's going to? Do you mind going through some of those?
Yeah, absolutely. So a Mayoral Relief Fund really enables the Mayor to be able to make immediate welfare decisions for those within the community where there's an immediate need that they wouldn't ordinarily have the resources to be able to provide. Like I've said, this is the fifth significant weather event in a short period of time, the last year, so it's fair to say that those resources are relatively stretched. If I look up to a place like Tokomaru Bay that had their last significant weather event in June, the resources will be going towards things like clean-up of the area. That's going to be a significant task. If it will go towards, there's things, for example, like in Tokomaru Bay, they don't have a dump any longer, so it's going to be a costly exercise to remove the remnants of the flood. I'll also turn to my friend here and local controller Dave Wilson, who might be able to provide some further details as to what those funds will go towards.
Thank you, Minister. So it really will assist our communities with their clean-up. It'll assist them with making sure that they're supported, getting their homes back in order, and making sure that we can help look after our environment. And big thing for our community, our beaches, we need to look and see how we can support people get back to doing what they love and the reasons why they live here in Tairawhiti.
Kia ora, thanks Minister, and so the short version is really, as the Minister has said, we know that the situation in Hawke's Bay is concerning. It's evolving at the moment. There is a significant slip in Wairoa, and we know that some self-evacuations are underway. So at this point, we're letting the CDM group there get on and do what they need to do, and the emergency services in support. Our job as a National Emergency Management Agency is to make sure that they've got everything that they need, and to make sure that we're there to support them as they come out the other side.
Right, without further ado, the final remark I just want to make is a massive thank you to everybody in the centre here, whether that be FENS, the police, volunteers, the team that have come on board to assist with the communities, and all of the volunteers and civil defence crews that are working up and down the coast at the moment, the roading crews. There's been an incredible amount of energy and effort that have gone into the response over the last 36 hours. I can see many people in this room that haven't had a wink of sleep. I won't point them out, but I know that there's a lot of people that have been burning the midnight oil to make sure that our communities are safe. So I just want to say thank you. Kia ora tātou.